I think it's like in any sport and any business, it goes through evolutions. You go through recessions. There are corrections. There's no question about it. And golf is doing that right now. The more you're around the game, the more you see it. And the more you see it, the more you get ready for the next one, right? And you can adjust your business model to some degree to whatever is happening in that moment in time. So what we're going through right now is kind of a byproduct of a few things. The down cycle, yeah, we can look at the recession of 2007, 2008, where disposable income was dramatically curtailed, and people had to think about where they're going to spend their money. That's one, right? Then you can look at the dynamics of where the game of golf is today from a sustainability issue through what happened in the 1990s and 1980s with the construction of golf courses at 300 to 400 per year during that time frame. And I truly believe, shame on my industry to some degree, which is the golf course designers, where we were building golf courses with unlimited budgets. We were building golf courses where they were so labor intensive. We were building golf courses where the maintenance costs on an annual basis was so high, but it didn't seem high to the people at the time because we were all over leveraged. We all thought we had this incredible amount of undisposable income that we could use forever. Lo and behold, what happens? Reality sets in, and as I say, disposable income gets tied up, and what happens? The industry suffers dramatically. So there's a huge lesson to be learned just on that one word, sustainability. There's a huge lesson for all of us to learn, whether you're an owner, whether you're a developer, whether you're an operator, whether you're a designer, or whether you're just a person playing the game of golf. So I look at this as a big picture deal. And quite honestly, I said in the beginning, shame on us, my industry, for going out there thinking we can slash and burn and do whatever we want to do and build artificial golf courses that took 32 people on staff to maintain with hand mowers, Shame on us. And today it's different. And we are a lot more in tune with what it is because of this, I got to choose the right word, because of this moment in time, which created a huge bubble we're in right now. So that was one. So I think on the flip side of that, behind every dark cloud, there's a silver lining. And the silver lining is the fact that we are now aware of it. We can look into the future, and the future is not 1 or 2 years. The future is generations down the line. And as we look into the future and generations, we can now hand the baton on to the next generation to make sure that they understand how to develop sustainable golf courses. Now that's just the economic side of things. So I see it right now is in a pretty good state because we are aware of this. So I see the needle, the pendulum's kind of bottomed out. The closure rates of golf courses to the opening rates, yes, it's still offsetting to the negative, but I think we're starting to see that pendulum bottom, and now we'll start seeing it move back into the positive. So looking forward, and now going beyond that, I think the state of golf from a professional golf level has never been better. We have a broad base of incredible amount of talent as professional golfers. These young kids are going to be the leaders of where this industry is going to go, but we have to teach them about the fact that they are not recession-proof. Which professional golfers and most sports people are recession-proof. So we have to teach them that. So we have this great pool of talent out there. If we can reach out to them and educate them in the right way, then again, the next wave, the next generation getting into the game of golf is going to be better off. So I see it in a little different prism than most. I see it from a player, I see it from a golf course designer, I see it from a former owner, and I see it somebody in the business world. I love it. I really do. I think one thing what we've got to do today is we've got to make golf cool again. Simple as that. How do we make golf cool? Well, maybe some of the rules and traditions of the game of golf don't fit today's social media. It doesn't fit today's platform with the style we like to have. It doesn't fit the time we have. So I think it's a great thing that we have these new innovative ideas. We've got to think out of the box. Nobody's going to come up with pixie dust, throw it in the air, and have the right answers immediately, right? But you've got to start thinking out of the box. You've got to start taking these little bit of initiatives. And that's why I say, look at our rules, look at our traditions. There's going to be a certain section of our industry that's going to keep those rules and keep those traditions because people like that. Some people do like that. But if we want to grow the game, if we want to attract new cool kids to the game, we're going to make it cool for that. So that's all about connectivity. That's all about devices. That's all about social media. That's letting them get out there and be who they want to be. And golf is a fun sport. It really is. But people look at golf as a bit of a stiff sport, and it's not athletic and all that stuff. BS to all that. You can make golf a lot of fun. I think having a connection with you, and you're in California, and I'm in Australia, I'm going to the first tee, time difference, yes. I'm going to bet you today. Yeah, we're on two different golf courses, but you can do that today with your devices. Now all of a sudden you're connected to your mate in another part of the country or the world, having fun on a golf course, going back and forth, taking photographs, doing a little social media. Now all of a sudden you attract all your followers, and they attract their followers. Now all of a sudden everybody's going, hey, this is pretty cool. Look at these two guys going back and forth. So now all of a sudden you've opened up this whole fun, that's just one. I mean, that's just things that I see even in my Twitter world now when I go back with individuals, how much fun it is when you actually throw out an interesting idea. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, one initiative, this is where I compliment the USGA. The USGA's come out of the box. They've gone to Fox. Fox is paying a lot of money to broadcast their championships. But the USGA is also looking about how to make golf cool again. They want us. They want Fox. They want the analysts. They want the team to get out there and talk about golf in a little bit of a different light. I'm not saying all the other broadcasters have done a bad job with it. They've done a great job, but they've done the same thing week in, week out. So here we come, and new kids on the block. We've got new ideas, no pun intended with new kids on the block. And we've got new ideas, new aspirations, new feelings, and we don't have a fear of breaking the mold because we don't have a mold. So right now we are kind of salivating at it. And here am I, a guy in my 60s, talking about having social media right there in front of me with my partner Joe Buck, wanting to connect with the thousands and thousands of people out there who probably just cannot turn on Fox at the moment and watch the US Open Championship at Chambers Bay. But you know what? We will give them, or I will give them, the ability to feel like they're connected to it. So all of a sudden now, we're kind of making golf a little cool through social media. So I think, yes, the answer to your question, yes, I do think about it. I get approached by the innovative ideas from the golf boards and all that stuff. These people come to me and say, what do you think of this idea? Will you invest in this idea? Will you help us distribute this stuff? So, I do see it all, and I actually love it. I really do love it. And what I would love to do is, I'd love to see the institutions, the USGA is moving in that direction, all of us, to really take a good, long, hard look at it. When I go to a lot of other sporting events, and I'm going to pick one out here now, when I go to the US Open Tennis Championship, one of the great slams of tennis, you go there and you'll sit down in between games, they're playing rock and roll music, they're engaging the crowd, the camera's in there picking out two people kissing and having a good time, blah, 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 and people love it. right? They pick out the celebrities, they do this, and everybody's going, hi, hi. And even Roger Federer will sit down and look and see what's going on. And he's going, yeah, he's smiling. He's actually enjoying this whole process, right? So why can't we do that with golf? Why can't we get so interactive with our spectators and have them join in the fun? Why do we have to be so traditional and being quiet and doing it this way? Look at the guys nowadays. I mean, through what we talk about, even with some of the ideas we have with golf courses, you know, guys want to get around fast. They want to play their music. They want to do this. Connectivity is so important today in golf. If you can connect and you can allow the guys to play their boom boxes and have fun, they still play golf. They still hit great shots, and they have a lot of fun. We go on the driving range of a golf course to get ready on a Sunday of a major championship, right? You walk on there with your caddy, your coach. You walk on there with 4 or 5 other, and people are walking around you. They're talking. They're interrupting you. Boom, they got spectators in the bleachers behind you, clicking away, clicking away. But you know what? When we practice, we're drilling every shot perfect, perfect, perfect. Doesn't bother us there, right? And yet we walk on that first tee, and some guy clicks a camera, we go, oh my gosh, you know, this is ridiculous. Throw that man out of here, right? Crazy when you think about it. So we have the ability, because we do it as athletes all the time. We sit back and we do experience that. I don't think it'll be radically different. I think the traditions of golf, like 18-hole golf courses and 72-hole tournaments, that's all going to stay the same. I think there'll be some changes, like, you know, I've been a huge proponent of building 12-hole golf courses. I've been a huge proponent of skinning down the size of golf. So, you know, those are some of the few things that will look different in the future, but it's going to be such a gradual change, it'll seem like it's normal when it happens, right? But I think it's necessary. I think we all have to sit back and accept the fact that 20 years from now, it's got to be different the way it is today. I wouldn't want to be living 20 years from now exactly the way I'm living today. I want to go with the flow. I want to make my adjustments in life. I want to drive a better car in 20 years' time than a car today. So, you know, I don't want to use a golf ball that we're using today 20 years down the line. So, you know, it's just it's a normal evolution of change, and I think we should embrace it. Well, in the beginning, it was all vertically integrated with golf, which was natural, right? Because playing the game of golf gave me a huge platform to get opened up to a lot of different markets, a lot of different businesses. People would come to you because of why? My exposure on the golf course, what I did on the golf course. So because of my exposure and my name and reputation, and because I actually developed a true logo, that also had a lot of added value to people wanting to come to me. And now, the more people come to you, the more you look at these different opportunities and you say, okay, well, this one I really like, and this one can't fit in this. And when I do, if this opportunity does fit into my business, what are the other offshoots that can come from it? So you keep building it out and building it out and building it out like that. But in the beginning, it was all vertically integrated with golf. Again, that's because of opportunities. You know, like our opportunity fund, for example, that started out from investing in business. And we saw the need for it because of the recession and the regulations imposed by the federal government on banks about loaning money to small businesses. They couldn't get it, and these poor people, you know, they needed money to grow their business or even operate their business. So we saw that. Now, a friend of mine and I started investing in a few of them, and one thing led to another. More people asked us to do it. Then we said, okay, why don't we do a little startup opportunity fund? And here we are today, 2.5 years later, something like that. We have got a proven track record, and now we're having other people look at investing into us because we have a very good track record. So where did that come from? That came from credibility, I truly believe. credibility of your positioning in life and what you've done, the credibility of who you are, and the credibility of you investing in a fair and balanced way to help somebody become, or help their business stay solvent. So at the end of the day, that's just one. I mean, there's a few others out there too, but that one I'm actually getting really excited about, really proud of, because I didn't have a university degree, and I'm learning so much about this new world out there of asset-based debt lending and funds, and there's some brilliant people out there, and so I become a kid in a candy store again, and it's kind of neat. Simple. Due diligence, right? If I didn't do my due diligence in golf, which is practice, preparation, understanding the golf course, when I go to a golf tournament, you've got 4 days to execute on your due diligence, right? You get in there, you go, boom, you either win or you don't win. In business is a little different. If you don't do your due diligence in business and you go in there half-cocked, you're going to lose a lot of money. So you spend your time and you do your due diligence. And you get out of it what you put into it. You've got to be very protective of your brand, right? Just when I played the game of golf, I was very protective of my image and my brand. I wore my heart on my sleeve, and I let people feel that, which was that people loved it, right? I wasn't stoic. I was a guy who let you into my living room to some degree, or I got into your living room through the TV set. So being respectful of who you are, the game of golf, your brand, and positioning yourself in such a way that you actually become like the living brand. And those things I learned from the game of golf, because you have to be so respectful in the game. And if you're not respectful in the game's going to leave you behind really fast. No different in business. If you lose your credibility and you lose your respect, and if you just go in there and just slash and burn on a business deal and just take everything, then word gets out there very, very quickly. So I'm a little bit different in my approach towards business than I am in golf. In golf, I was very aggressive. I went after it. I saw it. I did it. But that was just my skills against a golf course. Business, I'm a lot more patient. It takes a long time to build a brand. I started in the late 1990s. And here I sit today, nearly 20 years later, 20 years later, saying I probably only achieved 20% of what I could do in business. So it takes a long time to do it. Competitive side of golf is pretty much gone. I made a conscious effort a few years ago never to be a ceremonial golfer. And during that process, it was just very easy for me to quietly walk away into the sunset. I didn't want to sit on the Swilcan Bridge of St. Andrews and do this. I didn't want to do a tour around the world to do this. I had a beautiful tool of doing that, and that was my business world. So as I transitioned off the golf course, out of competitive golf, there was a little gap there that was, you had to try to figure out how to do that transition. It wasn't as long as I thought it would be. But now I'm over here, I feel like it's equally rewarding, if not more rewarding, because I can give so much more back in many ways. When you play the game of golf, you play for yourself, selfishly, and everything you do is for yourself, selfishly, right? When now in my world, I can give back to other players, and other players come to me now and ask me for a little bit of help and a little bit of advice. There's nothing more rewarding than having the experience and the knowledge and the ability to help somebody become a better person on or off the golf course. It's an incredible feeling to be able to do that. And so even with golf, you know, golf today is a little bit different played than my era. So can you inject some of your era into the younger players today? You can. I've seen it. I've done it. And then you look at the business side of things. You can give so much back in the business world. And then here we are sitting here with the National Golf Course Owners Association getting an award for what? Your merits of what you've done for the game of golf. So there's so many more rewarding things that I never even figured on. I never even calculated would even enter into my life or entering into my life. And it's equally as satisfying as fulfilling as picking up a trophy on a Sunday afternoon.